$75,000 and the scent of old people. God, your mom's perfume. She still wears that stuff? It's such an old people smell. It's everywhere. I was standing in the hallway just outside their bedroom. Thin wall. Thinner dignity. That was my son-in-law. In bed with my daughter. Laughing like he'd just cracked the joke of the century. Think we can get her to stop wearing it? Rachel didn't defend me. Maybe she whispered something. Maybe she didn't. But she didn't say she's my mom. She didn't say that's the perfume I bought her for Christmas. It was Joe Malone. A $200 bottle. With sage and sea salt. She used to say it reminded her of beach trips as a kid. Now it reminded her husband of a retirement home. I'm 58. Not ancient. But in that moment I felt every one of those years sink into me like stones. What Alex didn't know, what he couldn't even imagine, was that earlier that very day I had transferred $75,000 into his company's account. Elevate Tech Solutions. His startup. His big break. His legacy. Funded by the woman who, apparently, smells like his grandmother's living room. And the day before, I dropped off 3 home-cooked meals because Rachel texted me that she was swamped. I didn't slam a door. I didn't say a word. I walked to the kitchen, checked the stove, put the roast in the fridge. Left as quiet as I came. But something inside me shifted. Some scents fade. Others linger forever. The invisible investor. The next day, I sat in the cafe I go to when I don't want to cry at home. Window seat. Black coffee. Not because I like it, because it keeps my hands busy. Across from me, a young couple was laughing. She touched his arm like he was the most fascinating thing in the world. I used to do that with Rachel's father. Before he got sick. Before I became the strong one. Before everyone forgot I ever had a soft side. Alex had no idea how Elevate Tech Solutions even got through its first year. The late nights Rachel cried to me on the phone. The first seed round that nearly collapsed. The way I dipped into the last of my savings when the angel investor backed out. He thought Rachel's friend LM was a silent partner. I let him think that. I didn't need the credit. But yesterday? That laugh? That comment about my scent? It cracked something open. Not rage. Not yet. But realization. I built a real estate portfolio before Rachel could spell mortgage. I flipped houses with a baby on my hip. I ran numbers while stirring soup and answering third-grade math questions. And I was ready to be just grandma. Quiet. Warm. Supportive. But now? Now I'm watching the man I helped rise mock me like I'm invisible. So today I did something I haven't done in a long time. I made a phone call. Hi, Alex, I said, like I didn't hear the comment. I had an idea for Elevate. A potential connection I think you'd want to hear about. There was silence. Surprise. Oh, sure, he said. We could use some strategic guidance. Yeah, I bet you could. Let's see how close he's willing to get to that old people smell when it's wearing power. He offered to meet at their apartment. The one I helped them get into. Rent stabilized, downtown, 2 blocks from everything they brag about on Instagram. I wore the same perfume. On purpose. I knocked. Alex opened the door. He smiled, but it wasn't genuine. It was the smile of a man trying to remember if he said something stupid recently. He had. Linda. Great to see you. Come in. Rachel wasn't home. She's still at the office, he said. Convenient. We sat. I didn't touch the coffee he made. I didn't plan to stay long. I wanted to talk about your Series B, I said, opening my notebook. You're growing, sure, but your burn rate's unsustainable. And you're leaning too heavily on vague community impact metrics without real user growth. He blinked. I didn't know you were tracking that closely. I am. I let that word sit. Let it fill the room like my old people perfume apparently did. He started talking market share, branding, pitches. I didn't really listen. I watched how his confidence cracked every time I made a note. Every time I looked directly at him and not through him. Then I said it. I've invested nearly $240,000 into this company over the last 2 years. He froze. What? You didn't know. That was intentional. But Rachel said. I thought LM was a. I am LM Linda Marie Wilson. Your mother-in-law. The one with the roast dinners and the ancient perfume. Silence. Alex, I said softly, I believed in you when no one else did. Not because of your charm. Because I wanted my daughter to feel proud of her husband. He looked away. Ashamed. Or calculating. Maybe both. And then I added. I've drawn up a term sheet. Going forward, I want equity, a board seat, and monthly updates. Full transparency. He nodded. Slowly. Of course. And in that moment, I saw it. He didn't see me as old. He saw me as dangerous. Rachel called me that night. I almost didn't answer. Mom, Alex told me what you said. About the money. About the board seat. She sounded small. Not angry, just shaken. I wish you'd told me, she added. I leaned against my kitchen counter, hand wrapped around a lukewarm mug of tea I hadn't touched in hours. I tried, I said. So many times. I thought you just liked helping. Being around. I laughed. Quietly. You mean you thought I didn't have anywhere better to be? She didn't respond. For a moment I felt cruel. Then I remembered the silence in that hallway. Her silence. I gave you space to build your life, I said. I thought if I stayed in the background you'd feel independent. But now it just feels like you were hiding things. No, honey. I was holding things up. Quietly. Because that's what women like me do, we support. Invisibly. Until someone decides we smell too much like memories. She sighed. This is messy. Yes, I said. It's also real. Then I added, you're welcome to review the term sheet too. I want this to be ours. Not just mine. Silence. Then softly, okay. I hung up and stared out the window. The streetlights blurred behind glass, like the years I'd given them, always from the edges. But this time I wasn't fading out. This time I was stepping in. A week passed. No dramatic blow-ups. No flowers. No apologies. Just tension. The kind you can't name but feel every second. Alex sent the monthly report on time. It was stiff. Formal. Like he'd Googled how to write to your investor and copied a template. I didn't respond. He needed to sit with it. Let it fester. Let it reshape how he saw me. Rachel invited me over for dinner. Just us, she said. No business. Please. I said yes. But I came with a plan. The moment I walked in, I saw the effort. Candles. Real food. She even wore the necklace I gave her for college graduation. Alex pulled out a chair for me. I sat. He poured wine. I let him. And then halfway through salad he said I was a jerk. I know that now. I looked up. Held his gaze. He wasn't performing. He looked like a man who'd Googled how to apologize and realized none of it would help. I didn't know what you'd done. Or what you were still doing. I just thought you liked being here. I smiled, but not kindly. Because older women don't build companies. We just bring casseroles. He winced. I'm sorry, Linda. Honestly. I didn't let him off the hook. But I nodded. Apology accepted. Then I added, but I'm still keeping my board seat. He laughed, nervous. Of course. And that's when it shifted. He didn't see me as a backup plan anymore. He saw me as part of the company. The next investor meeting came faster than expected. I sat across from 3 men in Patagonia vests and 1 woman in Louboutins who didn't touch her latte. The room smelled like ambition and fear. Alex was nervous. Rachel, surprisingly, was calm. She sat beside me. Not behind him. He began the pitch. He was good. Not great. A little rehearsed. Then came the Q&A. That's when it happened. One of the investors turned to me and said, "And who are you?" I smiled. I'm one of the original investors. And now a board member. I also helped fund your competitor in 2018. So I've seen both sides. The room shifted. Alex blinked. Rachel didn't move. I went on. What Elevate has is potential. But potential needs pressure. And memory. And women like me. Nobody interrupted. After the meeting, Alex pulled me aside. You just made that room listen. I shrugged. I've been doing that quietly for years. You just weren't looking. Rachel joined us. You did good today, Mom. It wasn't warm or sentimental. It was respect. And for once, that was enough. We walked out of the building into the wind. My coat flapped open. That old Joe Malone scent swirled around us. Nobody flinched. No one called it old. Because now it smelled like money. Like ownership. Like legacy. 2 weeks later, Rachel stopped by my place. Unannounced. She held a small paper bag. Neutral, nondescript. Inside, a new bottle of perfume. Different brand. Same notes. I thought maybe a fresh version, she said. I looked at the bottle. Joe Malone. Limited edition. Discontinued 3 years ago. How'd you find it? She hesitated. Alex tracked it down. I didn't say anything. I just smiled. A quiet, unreadable kind of smile. That night, I set the bottle on my dresser next to the original one. Both glass, both delicate. One opened. One not. In the mirror, I looked the same. But something had shifted. The next morning, I wore no perfume at all. And when I walked into Elevate's new downtown office, the receptionist stood up a little straighter. Alex nodded before I even spoke. And in the meeting room, no one asked who I was. They just waited. Waited for what the old scent would say next. What did she mean by not wearing any perfume? Why the second bottle? Why did they look at her like that? Let them wonder. Legacy has a smell. But sometimes, it's silence.